Hello, good game. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, ghouls and goblins. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to help support the channel. Drop off your thumbs up down below. And in today's video, we'll be discussing 5 decks guaranteed to help you hit Mythic within Strixhaven School of Mages. Not going as in-depth as I typically would with my deck text, but giving you guys a brief overview of how the deck operates and works so you can make educated decision whether or not these decks are right for you while you're looking to rank up in Magic Gathering Arena. Thanks again for watching. Now let's get into it. All right, this is only about the 50th time I've tried to record that intro without Maya absolutely demolishing it on her wheel. But we're good to go, right? We've got 5 decks. At least we got our intro down, right? So Maya's in studio making a racket. We've got 5 decks for you guys that are, guaranteed to help you hit Mythic if you can consistently learn those play lines. And that's going to be a little bit more in depth than this video has to offer. But first, out of the gate, big surprise, mono red. The red deck wins. It's around forever. It's never gone away. My entire career in the last 2 years making videos. It's changed a little bit, sure, but it's always just been so powerful. And, not much changes here within this iteration of it. We do have the beloved Hall Monitor. A 1/1 with haste. You can pay 2, tap it. Target creature can't block this turn. That is sure nice to stop an Elder Gargoyle from blocking you, gaining 3 life, right? The Hall Monitor is really, really cool. Again, getting you past any of those defenders. Maybe it's something with Death Touch. Maybe it's just a big blocker, right? So, the deck, aside from that, hasn't changed at all. It's just mono red. Turn 1 champion, turn 2 robber, turn 3 annex, turn 4 cleave, right? Rinse and repeat. Gain those ranks. You've got to face it. To this deck, we only see 3 chargers and 3 hall monitors, as we have taken a copy of the Phoenix of Ash and we're running 4 cleaves. So, there's a little bit of adjustments that you could make here within the deck, within the numbers, right? I do love to have 4 Fireblade chargers. Hall monitor is exceptionally good though as well. So, potentially going down to 2 monitors, 4 chargers, if you wanted as well. And I really do like the Phoenix in the deck in case you run into Coach Rogue. So, general game plan, like I said, turn 1 champion, turn 2 robber, turn 3 annex, turn 4 cleave, and then, you've got your Faceless Haven and whatnot to clean up the match after that. So that's your mono red deck, big surprise. There's not much going on here. Moving on now to Tier 1 Winona. This is one of the most explosive decks that we've seen in Strixhaven. Yeah, mono red's good. It's consistent. It gets the job done. But Winona, whoa, this deck is ridiculous. And we've got a lot of really cool things incorporated within the deck here that are new, which is nice. First up is Professor of Symbology. A 2/1 when it enters battlefield, you learn, and we've got the sideboard here, which is all new cards. Inkling Summoning, a 2/1 with flying, obviously non-human, triggers Winona. Spirit Summoning, 3/2, obviously triggering Winona. Start from scratch, choose 1 sorcery speed. Destroy target artifact, start from scratch, just 1 damage to any target. And then 2 copies of Environmental Science, searching our library for a basic land, putting it into our hand, shuffling, and gaining 2 life, which is quite nice, right? So that's going on along with the Professor of Symbology, again, which is a 4 cleric, non-human, triggers Winona. And we've got the Blade Historian for 4. I'm sure you're aware of this. A 2/3 and attacking creatures you control have double strike. It is a human, so you can pull it out with Winona, and then all of your creatures have double strike. Absolutely ridiculous. And finally, we have 3 copies of the Elite Spellbinder, our final new card here, a 3/1 with flying, and when it enters the battlefield, look at the opponent's hand, and you may exile a non-land card from it. They may cast that card by paying an additional 2 mana. So, that's right. As far as the deck strategy and synergies go, it's really basic. You want to be stacking non-human creatures. Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, turn 4. You play Winona, attack with everything, and then you're going to get hopefully those 3 to 4 creatures from your library via Winona's ability. like the Blade Historian, like Kenrith, which is really, really quite interesting. And then you can just smash your opponent with Double Strike, which works exceptionally well. And again, remember that Kenrith can provide trample to your creatures, again, which is really, really good if your opponent has blockers. So there's not much going on here, right? You've got Elsaid, you've got Selfless Savior that can protect Winona, and you've got the Skyclave Apparition for a little defensive play there alongside Bone Crusher Giant. That's the deck, that's the list. This is one of my favorites to play just for the fun factor, because it's so explosive. It can be kind of hard to play, but at the same time, when it works, and definitely easy to get those turn 4, turn 5 wins. Very similar to the mono red deck. Jumping through here now to mono white, another aggro deck. We just can't get away from it. And the mono white deck is it's disgusting, right? We do have some changes in comparison to the typical version that you may be used to seeing, which is the lifelink version. This variant is more just aggro, and it does seem to work more consistently. However, it does come down to be a little bit closer maybe against some of those aggro decks because you don't have the life gain. But it still works incredibly well. As far as changes to the deck, we have Drain of Magistrate. This is stopping Sultai Ultimatum. This is stopping the adventure cards and Showdown of the Skulls. There's so many ways to receive card advantages through casting your cards via exile. And this is right. Foretell is another example of something that the Drain of Magistrate stops. And that's all that's new in the deck, right? We've got this Selfless Savior, we've got Alsad, we've got Hallow Blade here, and all of the Skyclaves as well. The Luminarch Aspirin helps everybody up, and it really is about flyers within this version, right? You can see we have the Legion Angel, you can see we have Redeemed God of the Worthy, and the Elite Spellbinder as well, which is really, really nice. So get in the air, attack your opponents, snatch your opponent into these flyers, right? It shouldn't be that hard for you. And again, that Maul of the Skyclaves can go on to Seeking Hellblade to create an even more advantageous flyer that cannot be destroyed via its indestructible ability, in which you can discard something, which is really, really cool. So, that's the list. This is one of the more basic lists I think that you can play and rank up. Typically you have to put a couple of combo pieces together. Like, okay, we need ants, then we need cleave, we need non-humans, and then we need Winona. There's not really any of that requirement here within a mono white deck, which is why I really like it. It's so consistent because of this, right? So, play your creatures, attack your opponent, and you're probably going to win a lot of matches. Moving on, we can save an exit here. We've got Jeskai Cycling. Well, I'm sure you've seen this card, or this card, I should say, and this deck floating around within right. We have a free-to-play version of this deck, which is absolutely amazing. It has 0 rares and 0 mythics. You can find that on my channel within the free-to-play playlist, and you can upgrade it to this version, which is really nice. It's got all of the same things we have in the basic cycling deck, right? The Fox, the Healer, the Rescuer, the Stinger, Go for Blood, Starling Development, Memory Leak, Flare, boom. Right, so that's your typical free-to-play cycling deck, and then added is the Ironcrag Pyromancer. Whoa! This card is silly. If you are playing one of the other aggro decks, look out for the Pyromancer, because it is going to keep your creatures alive. It's a non-legendary. They can stack it, or I should say you can stack it, and deal massive amounts of damage to your opponent or to their creatures, which is really cool because you'll be cycling on your turn, you'll be cycling on your opponent's turn. So this Pyromancer is going to pump out the damage. I absolutely love it, and you combo it with Improbable Alliance, making those tokens just kind of cram up the field so you're not getting attacked, and of course you still have the flare to deal massive amounts of damage. So I really like Jeskai Cycling, and it is in such a good spot right now. moving on to our final deck of the video, Sulfide Ultimatum. This deck is a beast. 80 card Dorian revolving around Emergent Ultimatum, right? Emergent Ultimatum can pull things like Iora Best Sea God, All Runs Epiphany, Boron Flex. The list goes on and on, my friend. You can even pull out something like Tibble Cosmic Imposter as well. The deck has a bunch of ramp to help us get there. As far as new cards, we've got the Quandary's Cultivator, single copy of this in deck. It helps us find a land, which is quite nice. And potentially, if we're playing it on turn 4, or turn 5, I should say, it will give us the land to still hold up counter magic, right? Staying Stroke, Negate, Mystical Dispute. So it allows us to maybe play a little bit while still holding up the counter magic. I really wish that there were more new cards in the deck. Unfortunately, Quandary's Cultivator is all that we get. And your main priority is still just like, Wolf Little Haven, Cultivate, even your Binding or your Quandary's Cultivator, and then you're into your Emergent Ultimatum, and then you get your double turns, your 8/8, steal your opponent's stuff, and Valky, potentially Boron Flex as well. So there's a lot going on here. You still have your wipes and your removal. Eliminate, Pestilent Haze, Event, Shadow's Verdict. So you have a ton of removal here, and this is one of the most annoying decks for me to play against right now. Ultimatum is just atrocious. It is a brutal deck to play against. It is an absolute magical deck to use to climb rank because everybody else feels the same way about it, right? I used to hate rogues, with an unlimited amount of unbound rage, but that has been redirected to the Sulfide Ultimatum deck. I still like it. It's hard to play against. It's really, really annoying. And within an 80 card deck, you'd think that they'd have a harder time finding that ultimatum. They don't. They get it every time, right? So that's great. The land here is really expensive, and this probably is the most expensive deck to make out of them all. Obviously, the mono red and the mono white will be cheapest, moving into then cycling, and then Winona, and finally the Sulfide Ultimatum. As far as your wild card budget goes, and if you are looking for any of these decks, they're all going to be in the description below. You can grab them, import them into your game, and see how many wild cards you're missing from each deck, right? And as far as I'm concerned, these are the most important decks to be playing right now if you are concerned with ranking up against Sulfide Ultimatum, Jeskai Cycling, Mono White Aggro, Winona, and Mono Red Aggro as well. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you have any questions about these decks, you want to see in-depth breakdowns, let me know in the comments below, and I'll get to that as well. Today's video is a little bit light. It's a weekend. I was slacking. Went out camping for the day there, and we fell behind a little bit, right? With such a heavy workload, it is hard to stay caught up, but I'm doing my best. And of course, lots of new content for you guys this week. I hope you had a great weekend and ready for, what is this? Our second month of Strixhaven, so we've got 2 more months to go until D&D, and I am excited, pumping out the new decks every day, but I did want to take a moment, as we are getting near the end of the month, to showcase what deck you guys should be playing if you are really focused on ranking up quickly. Thanks again for your time and attention. I really do appreciate it. Hope you all have a magical day, and we'll see you soon in the next video.